As the humanitarian crisis has unfolded at our southern border, I voiced three priorities. One, to send the National Guard to help the Border Patrol and Customs and Border Protection secure the border. Two, to change the law to allow the federal government to immediately return those who cross our border illegally to their own countries. And three, to reduce foreign aid to help us accomplish these goals. And so I am very pleased that the House took action that accomplishes all three of these priorities. Today, the House passed legislation that allows the U.S. to immediately call in the National Guard to secure our border. It reforms current law to allow for the expedited deportation of the unaccompanied children being illegally smuggled into the U.S. It accelerates judicial proceedings of immigrant children, and it strengthens repatriation efforts in Central America. Most importantly, the cost is completely offset with cuts to other spending, and it accomplishes these important priorities at no additional cost to taxpayers. And instead of using this crisis as a way to further increase federal spending, as suggested by the President when he requested $3.7 billion in new spending with no offsets to current spending, the short-term funding provided in the House bill is entirely offset by cuts to existing federal programs, including approximately $240 million in foreign aid, and is focused entirely on securing the border and returning those who have come here illegally in an expedient and a humane way. Additionally, the House voted to prohibit the President from abusing his executive power to further grant amnesty to illegal immigrants, action that he is apparently considering once again by bypassing the legislative process and refusing to work with the Congress. These bills include multiple components needed to secure our border and to send a clear message to the countries complicit in this illegal activity, putting innocent children in harm's way. And even though we had a difficult time in the House passing important legislation to secure the border and to deal effectively with the crises at the southern border, we understood in the House that action had to be taken. So we stayed, and today we got the job done and passed a good bill that will work. And in stark contrast, the Senate rejected the President's request to deal with the crises at the border, and they packed their bags and went home. This should not be a surprise, since this is how the do-nothing Harry Reid Senate has operated for years, as evidenced by the hundreds of House-passed bills dealing with all kinds of issues, including improving our economy, creating jobs, reducing energy prices, and so many more, that sit in the Senate with no debate and no votes. The only leadership in Washington on these issues is from House Republicans, and the crises at the border demands that the Senate get beyond business as usual and its do-nothing approach to government. Harry Reid, the Senate Majority Leader, should immediately call the Senate back. They should take up our bill. They should secure the border and to deal with this unfolding humanitarian crisis at our southern border.